Welcome to Courageous Conviction. Remember that Jeff and I record each Saturday 5 episodes. So please hit the like button, subscribe so you catch all 5 episodes. We usually start out with one theme or topic. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes to really understand it. Some things are more sensitive than others right now, what's going on in the world. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's jump into this video.
It's like it's still like they give you a shirt, it's like 100% type thing, but so you have to get a score of 100, and you know how the SAT scoring works a little differently. But he got a top score, and so he applied, and 3 weeks later BYU approved him, and he was in. That was the only school he applied for. It's all he grew up with that in mind. I'm going to BYU.
Yeah,
right?
And
he's a math wizard, and he's going for engineering degrees because he wants to go build spaceships with Musk, and that's what he wants to do.
Right on. Good endeavor.
Go rockets.
But, we can do that, and the church allows that. There is not another church that does that. And the Bible talks about, in the Book of Mormon as well, that by the people of the church itself will be recognized by its fruits. And, with all the hostility and all the, backbiting and all this other stuff that's going on, if you really look at its core, the church is so valuable to the world because of what it represents, what it does for its members. It's valuable to us as members of the church, because I see, just like what you mentioned, that your children have an opportunity that they would otherwise wouldn't have in their secular world. I can't send my kids off to college and pay for it and not be in debt, or not put them in debt, but they need to have some kind of an education that allows them to become self-sufficient and have careers when they become of age.
It's funny, though, Jeff, is I would never have really recognized that part of the offset of cost for the members.
Amazing.
Had my son not been at BYU, right, and felt that.
They don't
I'm so glad you decided to go to BYU. I truly am.
Yeah, and that's why I've been pushing that for my own kids, as little as they are. I think that the value of that education there is second to none. I'd rather do that than go to Harvard or Stanford or anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, and the corruption is everywhere. It's less at BYU, and I am very, very solid on this will be cleansed. This will be cleansed. It has no other direction it can go. Right now there's just like a reaching out going on, and it's. Like other things, you go back even the Benson days, when they're trying to warn General McKay and Benson were trying to warn us of today, right?
Against Marxism. But the whole root of all of our issues kind of boils down, I think, to this whole Marxist idea. That's where the LGBTQ.
It's Neo Marxist. It's Neo Marxist ideology. It's
right.
What it is.
Everything is everything is okay now. All the bad stuff that we thought was bad before is good now. And everything is all inclusive, and it's always about it sounds good, it sounds beautiful, kind of like what Alvarez says in her video, Gloria, that it sounds beautiful, so everybody gravitates toward it, but it's not beautiful, because the outcome is Marxism. That's what you get, and it's nefarious in nature.
Well, just look at all these countries where these immigrants, these illegals are coming from. Let's just go back. You look at all the countries, actually. You can go to the Middle East. You can go to China. The Chinese are coming over. You can come from South America. They are all Marxist-based countries. Now, Middle East won't be Marxist-based necessarily. It's Islam, but there are the control mechanisms that are very similar to tyranny.
Authoritarian.
Yeah.
The whole authoritarian thing is rooted in Marxism. There's the bad capitalist as well,
Oh, sure.
The dictators.
BlackRock is a prime example.
Yeah. So, without going too much farther on this, I think that that's how we can close here too. Is just that, the church has to go back to its roots. I love Ezra Taft Benson, I love his, being bold about standing up against anti-patriotism in this country, And to be patriotic means that you have to realize that this country was founded with Christian values, and that's not going to change.
I'm attempt to explain something as we're closing. and I heard, because I've heard this talk across the pulpit, that patriotism is kind of something that the church doesn't want to focus in promoting. Patriotism can be dangerous. Well, then I heard an argument for patriotism the other day. Hang on, I'll let you correct this here. But then I heard this argument for patriotism, and it talked about what the characteristic of patriotism produces, right? And I just kind of give a few examples. Well, one's a patriot. I believe in my country. I fight to help my country be the best it can be. And when I say fight, I mean I get up and I push myself, and I, to not misconstrue words here with anybody out there that might want to try to do that. But when I say fight, I'm talking about you put that battle up every day to go against evil, and you go to defend the right and the freedom, so that we can all have our freedoms to choose, right? An agency. Now I'm talking about responsible freedom. Now I'm not talking about irresponsible freedom like we're the desire today.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So the idea, where am I going with this now? The idea that, I don't know where I'm going with this now. Help me out here.
You talked about the church, not always promoting patriotism at the pulpit, and you recently found something that did, because we inside the church as well, we're kind of like, we're stepping ourselves back. We're like, I don't know if I should talk about that now, right? Because we're so divided, politically divided, even within the church. So do we accept gays? Do we accept Marxism and socialism? Do we accept the trends that are happening right now, Black Lives Matter and all this stuff? Or do we see that some of that stuff is being a big black eye toward what we always thought was patriotism, and let's beware about too much adoration toward the American flag. If it's going to be nationalistic, I don't want this Heil Hitlerism kind of thing taking fold.
Right. And I think that's what they're talking about, that kind of nationalism.
Right. So that's why there's a warning with like the forever Trumpers. There's the no Trumpers, and then there's the forever ones. No matter what. So.
Well, it's like the whole idea of riding with Biden. I saw that bumper sticker and I thought, that is really intelligent choice. I'm just going to ride with this guy, because the guy can't talk, with all the things that are taking place with happening to our country, but I'm just going to ride with him because I'm just a Democrat. I'm going to vote Democrat. That's pride. And that's pride. And that is a patriotism that is just blinded. I think that's what we're told not to have.
Well,
patriotism. Go ahead.
Same thing with Republicans, So, I'm not attacking.
Oh, no, I'm not attacking. I'm just saying, with the current administration, this what's taking place right now is pretty obvious, I think.
And Biden's an idiot. I'll say it.
I didn't say that.
He's a blubbering, there.
Be nice. Be loving now, Jeff.
I'm sorry.
You need to love your brother. He's your brother. Okay. Joe Biden's your brother. He's your older brother.
Yeah. Well,
hey, that. Be nice now. Go ahead. Continue on here.
I think that this country, as a lot of people are realizing, needs to have justice, needs to have a little more patriotism, and what's going on right now is wrong, and on both sides politically, understand this. I talked to a friend of mine yesterday who she's not for Biden. She has her own AR-15, and yet she kind of agrees with Marxist kind of natured politics, so but what she did agree with, though, is justice, the lack of justice that we find in our world. You look at El Salvador right now, and justice is being played out. Some people don't like it, with that president, but hey, they're cleaning up the streets. But you go a country over.
I thank you for being with us on Courageous Conviction. Remember, there's 5 episodes each week that we put out. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes, so stay with us, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and don't miss tomorrow's episode on Courageous Conviction.